I wouldn't mind being learnt off by Zak as well.
Yeah.
For Zak to teach me how to play golf. Also McLaren as a whole, that it has a little bit more of a family vibe than potentially other teams, and I think that's something very nice.
Taylor, great to catch up with you here at testing in Madrid. We weren't expecting to be here in Madrid. We were going to be in Valencia, which is a whole other story, but obviously it's good that we've managed to get testing in. Yeah. Especially important given that you are a rookie coming into your first full season in Formula E.
Yeah, I think it's very good for me to get some testing now. Obviously you can't ignore the fact that Valencia is in a bit of a difficult situation at the moment, so yeah, we need to send our regards to them, but of course happy to get some testing in, and yeah, I need it as a rookie, so looking forward to it.
I've already spoken to Zane Maloney, who's got a very similar situation to you, that you've come from the junior series to come and have a full-time drive in Formula E. You've got sort of experience already in Formula E. Yeah. But you've also got a teammate that's alongside you that's incredibly, you know, I'm not saying old. That's what Zane maybe hinted at. I think he's saying that Lucas is twice his age. But you've got someone very experienced in Sam Bird. You must be really pleased that you can learn from his experience.
Yeah, of course. Having a teammate like Sam, I worked with him last year when I was a reserve. Obviously stepped in with him, and even during that time when he had broken his hand and I was stepping in for him, he was still helping me as much as possible. I think that's just going to continue into this year. You know, him having the wealth of experience that he's got, he'll be trying to support me as much as he can, and obviously I'm just trying to learn off him as much as possible.
Having that bit of experience must make you feel a little bit more secure coming into this series as a rookie for your first full season.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it gives me a little bit of insight as to how the races will be. Although with this new car, things get thrown up in the air a little bit more again. Like, hard to say how much that's really going to help, but definitely makes me feel a little bit more comfortable.
When you look at this new car, obviously you've driven the old car a little bit, there are some huge advances in what the car can do. We've got, you know, attack charge coming, we've got attack mode, which is going to be a lot more important, I think, this year with the four-wheel drive. And also, you know, the acceleration is going to be ridiculous as well off the line. What's the one thing maybe you're looking forward to the most about the new car specifically?
Many things to look forward to. The practice starts that we've done so far, obviously we've not done a start with everyone on the grid. The acceleration is incredible. Like, I've not felt something like that ever in my life, and that is, yeah, during testing that was definitely the thing which stuck out the most. Attack mode again will now be used, I feel like, a bit more as an attack instead of trying to get it out of the way and then go drop back into the pack. I feel like it will be used to actually attack with the four-wheel drive that you get from that, so hard to say how the races will plan out, but a few things to look forward to.
When you're out there, is there, because you're a rookie and Zane's a rookie and you've raced together in F2, is there, you know, you're going to look out for him, and he's got a very striking car, as do you actually. Yeah. Is there a little bit of kind of rookie rivalry going on?
I guess so, but at the same time for me, everyone is the same kind of competitor, let's say. I don't look at anyone differently. First of all, my focus is on myself to just try and improve as much as possible, and we'll see how the first races go.
Given that we've actually seen a lot of drivers move on from F2, it must be quite nice to see some of the drivers that you've been coming up the ranks with getting opportunities. We've seen Franco Colapinto go into F1 and do incredibly well. I'm sure you'd like to replicate that. And also there's talk of Gabriel Bortoletto moving up as well, and we know that Ollie Behrman is driving with Haas next year. It must be nice to know that some of your, I don't know if you consider them mates, but you know, your fellow competitors from the last few years have been doing so well, as are you and Zane. Yeah,
of course. I feel like the last, couple of months really has been pretty crazy for us as, you know, junior feeder series drivers. A lot of people are getting a lot of opportunities now, and I don't know how that holds for people that are now following us, because a lot of opportunities have now been taken by, you know, the drivers that you've named and myself. So I consider myself very lucky. Obviously my junior career was not the best and not what I had hoped for, but to end up in this kind of situation in NEOM McLaren in Formula E is something very special, and yeah, you know, a nice drive to end up with. But yeah, it's nice to see new people, new faces and new opportunities.
I think in a way you've done kind of what Franco Colapinto's done, in that you stood in for Sam Bird and you did so well and you looked so natural in Formula E that then made the bosses make a big decision. And that's kind of where he's at right now. And it seems mad that he might not be on that grid next year.
Yeah, you know, the way that you work as a reserve driver, you always have to be ready for that kind of situation. I felt like I was. Potentially that did influence the situation and my chances to become a real driver for this year, or a race driver for this year. How his situation is, obviously I don't know, but it does seem like he's done a very good job so far, and if he will get the seat next year, I guess no one knows. Obviously he won't be at Williams, will he, because they've been confirmed.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know how that situation is for him.
I'm sure there's a way. There's always a way in
There's always
motorsports,
a way.
right? That's
Yes.
I mean, that's how you're here today.
Yeah.
When you're on that grid for the first time properly, as a proper racing driver, as we've kind of joked about already, in Brazil, what's going to be going through your mind? Because obviously these starts are going to be pretty exciting, but you've shown already in Berlin that you're not here to mess around.
Absolutely not. I can't wait to start the season, honestly. I'm really ready. I feel well prepared. Obviously, performance-wise, don't really know much yet. Be able to say a little bit more after these 3 days of testing, but I feel quite good at the minute. So hopefully, when I'm sitting on that grid and being a bit nervous about the start of the race, that we'll be towards the front. But yeah, I think it'll be more excitement than nerves.
There's one thing I've learned over the last few years about McLaren, and NEOM McLaren specifically, is that you need to play golf if you want to get on with Zak Brown, okay? So a little rumour I've heard is that you're taking up golf, because we spoke last time and I don't think you were playing golf.
No.
How's that going?
That was more forced by Laney and Sam, but I have now started golf. A few people have been like, oh, well, you've taken the bug now, and it definitely is a thing that you get the golf bug, and I have started now, so hopefully in a couple of months' time you'll see me, Sam and Laney playing golf at the golf course, and hopefully we'll get Grant involved as well.
I think like a whole McLaren-wide thing. I mean, there's some kind of IndyCar hookup coming up in Mexico with Pato O'Ward. I feel like, I don't know whether he plays golf, but maybe you can just make it all happen, just do a tournament.
Yeah, well, I think that's going to be Sam and Laney pushing that forward, but I'm happy to take part, and I think it's quite good as a team bonding thing as well. Like, if you can get F1, IndyCar and Formula E all on the same kind of, at the course at the same time, it kind of builds that connection between the 3 championships, which you don't really see in other teams. So I think it's something that we've got quite special.
Who would you actually have lessons with out of those drivers? Because Sam thinks he's pretty good. I've not played with Sam, but I've heard he's pretty good.
Honestly, I don't know what kind of skill level everyone's at the minute. Well, seeing as I'm already learning off Sam, I might as well go with Sam for my first teacher. But I wouldn't mind being learnt off by Zak as well.
Yeah.
For Zak to teach me how to play golf. So, yeah, anyone really is. Like I said before, I think it's quite a good relationship between me and Sam, but also McLaren as a whole, that it has a little bit more of a family vibe than potentially other teams, and I think that's something very nice.
I feel like if you maybe sort of get a wager going with Zak, that if you beat him on a couple of holes, maybe he'll let you drive some of his nice cars.
Yeah, something that sounds good. Okay. I'll have to have a few lessons before that, though.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I think it's great that Sam is kind of guiding you in Formula E, but also guiding you out on the golf course as well.
Yeah.
And I really look forward to see what happens this season, and best of luck.
Thank you very much.